Good day, everybody. I'm Menopause Barbie, your menopause tailor. And you know, while my focus is on menopause, much of what I teach you is not specific to menopause. The last few videos have been on dietary aspects of menopause in particular, but nutrition in general. And that got me thinking about nutrition in the general sense, which led me to doing this video tutorial. I thought it would be good to address nutrition myths. Believe it or not, much of what you think about nutrition is not accurate. Some of it is just plain mythical. So I'm going to discuss some general nutrition myths with you. These won't be entirely new to you, but their mythical aspects may be. So I'm just going to use a format in which I present the myth, and then the truth, and then an explanation of the truth. So let's just launch right into it. Myth number 1 is that you should have all things in moderation. The truth is that you should have some things in abundance, some things sparingly, and some things never. And here's the explanation. Have you ever given thought to the word moderation? If you look that word up in the dictionary, it means without excess. And if you look up the word excess, it means extreme in quantity. But who gets to decide and define what's moderate? And who gets to decide what constitutes excess? See, these definitions are the key here. In the case of your eating habits, you get to define both of those words. And if you're the one eating things to a degree that you consider moderate, and you're the one deciding what constitutes excess, chances are you're doing so subjectively. What's moderate to one person is excessive to another. So who's right? Do you see the problem? It's just too subjective. The myth of all things in moderation is designed to make you feel good about yourself. It's designed to keep you from feeling guilty about your eating behavior. It is not designed to force you to adhere to an objective, quantifiable standard. It's vague, and you can make it mean whatever you want it to mean. Here I have some chocolate. We all love chocolate, don't we? How much chocolate can I eat to qualify for eating it in moderation? If I eat just this one piece, am I eating it in moderation? What about 2 pieces? Okay, 3. What if I eat all this chocolate? Is that moderation or is it excessive? Moderate or excessive compared to what? And does moderation refer to my daily intake of chocolate, or does it cover the whole week? If I eat a piece of chocolate every day, is that moderate or excessive? And if it's okay to eat everything in moderation, does that mean that I should include the things in my diet that are scientifically proven to be detrimental to my health? You know, animal products have a slow transit time that results in heart attack and cancers. So, if I should eat all things in moderation, should I include them in my diet? Do you see the problem with this mantra? It makes absolutely no sense. It sets you up for failure by making you think that whatever you do is fine. Everything in moderation is not fine. And you will not be fine if that's what you do. Learn the facts about food and don't kid yourself about how harmful or harmless certain foods are. Okay, myth number 2. is it's fine to cheat once in a while. And here's the truth. If something isn't good for you, it's never good for you. It has nothing to do with frequency. So that brings us back to defining the term. What in the world does once in a while mean? How long is a while? Is it a lifetime? If so, is it fine to eat everything once, no matter how bad it is for you? I mean, junk food. Is it okay to eat these things once in a while, or is it once in a while once a year? Or maybe it's once a month. Maybe it means every day. If so, I can have all this stuff anytime I want, right? That's the problem, the definition of once in a while. Do you see how arbitrary that term is? Everybody would define it differently. And each person is defining it for him or herself. When you take an arbitrary term and let each person define it subjectively to suit herself, it loses all meaning. If something isn't good for you, it's never good for you, period. So eating it once in a while is not okay. And it's a fallacy to think that it is. Myth number 3. Myth number 3 is that animal protein is high quality protein, while vegetable protein is not. Animal, vegetable protein. The truth is that vegetable protein is higher in quality no matter how you measure quality. The notion that animal protein is in any way good for you is a complete fallacy. But if you live in a land of affluence that can afford to have meat and dairy as part of the diet, you've been brainwashed into believing that it is. And that's because the economy in your affluent country depends on that belief and your animal eating habits to remain rich. Part of that brainwashing entails leading you to believe that animal protein is actually good for you. Nothing could be farther from the truth. Here are the facts. Ingestion of animal protein results in heart attack, cancers, diabetes, slow digestion, constipation, and obesity. Ingestion of plant protein results in higher fiber intake, lower cholesterol, prevention of cancers, high levels of vitamins and minerals, rapid digestion, lean muscle mass, increased energy, and clear skin. The goofy notion that animal protein is superior to plant protein in any way is completely upside down. There is not a single thing about animal protein that is better than plant protein. You see, this myth has been stretched so far that most people don't even know that plants contain protein. They believe they have to eat animal products to get protein. This is shocking. If cows only eat grass and you're eating the cow for its protein, where in the world do you think the cow got its protein? Okay, myth number 4. Myth number 4 is that low-fat, high-fiber foods include animal products and dairy products. The truth is that there is high fat and no fiber in animal and dairy products. There are 2 sources of fat: animal fat and vegetable fat. Animal fat is unhealthy. Vegetable fat is healthy. Animal fats clog your arteries. Vegetable fats clear your arteries. While there are some fats in fish that are good for you, those same fats are also present in plants. You do not need any animal fat, period. What about fiber? Fiber is to a plant what the skeleton is to an animal. Just as the skeleton holds up the animal, the fiber holds up the plant. But when you eat meat, you don't eat the skeleton. All you eat is the muscle and the fat. But when you eat a plant, you get all the fiber, along with vitamins and minerals, but only good fat. So low fat, high fiber really means plants, period. But the meat and dairy industries don't want you to know that. So they substitute the term low fat, high fiber for the word plants. It's really terribly deceptive. You've never heard the truth, all because of the mighty dollar. So if you really want low fat, don't eat anything with a face or a mother. And if you want high fiber, eat plants. Either way, you're dealing with the same thing, plants. Okay, myth number 5. Myth number 5 is that organic products are safe, uncontaminated, and unadulterated. The truth is that organic simply means farmed without synthetic substances, period. The term organic has more to do with preservation of the environment than it does with the actual food. And yet, you've been led to believe that as long as something is organic, it's harmless. There are all sorts of junk foods that are organic. And the word organic does not mean that the food is not genetically modified. Organic is a word that has gotten very out of hand. Not only is it misleading, it's also non-specific. It means that the farmers don't use some of the conventional synthetic pesticides, but the standards for qualifying as organic are fairly vague. Do not assume that organic means harmless. Here are the facts about organic products. Organic produce is 20 to 40% healthier for you, but it's also 40% more expensive. And eating more produce, period, is more important than eating more organic produce. So, that brings us to myth number 6. Myth number 6 is that dairy products are good for you. The truth is that dairy is something you were only supposed to ingest until you were weaned from breast milk. After that, it has absolutely no benefits and multiple risks. As I explained to you in video 112 on dairy, there is no other animal on earth that continues to ingest dairy beyond weaning. Mother Nature made it so that you are supposed to lose the enzymes to digest dairy. That's why so many adults have difficulty digesting dairy. And it's why the dairy industry makes all these lactate products. They've already brainwashed you into believing that dairy is good for you. But when your body starts revolting against dairy with gas and bloating and diarrhea and abdominal pain because you keep on filling it with dairy products that you can't digest, the dairy industry makes a whole new line of products to get you to keep on ingesting it. There's not one single nutrient in dairy that you need. Green leafy vegetables have tons more calcium, and all dairy has fat. That's the only thing it has in it, fat. That's why you needed it when you were a newborn. Back then you needed to gain weight. Now you don't. And the only dairy you needed was your mom's breast milk. It had the right quantities of calories and fat to grow a human. Cow milk has the right quantities of fat and calories to grow a cow. And if you keep ingesting dairy products from a cow, you'll increase your chances of getting as big as a cow. So there you have it. 6 nutrition myths that can really mislead you. As you can see, some of them are just so subjective, arbitrary, vague, or backward that they set you up for failure. When you hear things like these myths, just stop and think about them. Do they really make any sense? Usually not. So just stick with the facts. Don't make your own rules. Remember, you can still do whatever you want, but do it knowing the facts. Don't kid yourself. And be accountable for your actions. To summarize, the truth about the 6 myths are the following. 1, all things are not fine in moderation. 2, it is not okay to have certain foods once in a while. 3, plants have the highest quality protein. 4, low fat, high fiber really just means plants. 5, organic does not mean harmless. And 6, dairy products from a cow have no place in the human diet. And that's the lesson for today. Join me next week when I teach you what big industry doesn't want you to know about food. Some of these videos are just so practical. Everyone should watch them. So, plan on tuning in next week. And in the meantime, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to my channel and sign up for a one-on-one consultation or register for the seminar. You can do all of that at my website called menopausetailor.me. See you in a week. Bye.